I made that in about 2 hours and it's not good. The reason that I say that is because there are some issues like this one here. The animations aren't really designed to go together, but I had to use some camera cuts to sort of get it looking okay. There's some other issues like some intersections with meshes. This one wasn't all that noticeable in the render. It doesn't really make sense for the character to be over here and then jump over to here. This wall running and then transitioning over to this climbing, it doesn't really work. I tried to get the acceleration looking right, but I actually used linear interpolation for this, so it wasn't that great. There's actually a cut here in the track where it switches to a different part in the track. That was a little worse than I thought it would be in the final cinematic. This jump here is a little bit rough, but I guess it was okay. My point isn't really to discourage you here, it's more to say that it's going to have some compromises with such a limited time. As far as what went well, this environment was not made by me, but I do think this environment looks very good. The building designs here are quite unconventional. I thought this part here where he vaults over this and then transitions to him jumping off this wall, that was pretty good. Some of these earlier shots here, I put some time into getting the camera in the right position, depth of field, and things like that. It's certainly true that I could have spent more time on depth of field with these later shots though. I'd say some of the shots like this one turned out better than I thought it would. You can see that this area is blurred out here while the character is in focus. There are a few things that could be polished a bit better, like with this climbing animation. There are times when he's not quite touching the surface, like his hand is just kind of planted in the air. Around here it probably would have helped to make the camera shake a little bit more intense, or maybe having a different camera position as well. There's like this area here, but then there's these other areas that maybe I could have taken advantage of. Certainly some potential for some more interesting camera positions here. Maybe adding a scene where from here he goes inside this building and then maybe meets a person in here. That would make things more interesting. You can certainly argue that it ends a bit abruptly because after this there's really nothing. So as I said, I don't think it's good, but I also don't think it's a disaster. I would describe it as rushed for sure. If you want to challenge yourself and try to make something like this in 2 hours, you might be able to do a better job than I did. And lastly, I've linked this environment in the description. It's the Hillside sample project. You might want to turn down your engine scalability settings and your screen percentage. And then also if you go to window levels, in this LV lighting default, just right click, change streaming method to always loaded. You might need to disable some of these other things as well, and then just keep this enabled. That way when you play or when you render your cinematic, it'll keep this lighting.